Sasi Institute of Technology and Engineering, NRA Institute of Technology, Vivekananda Educational Institution, Tirchengur. I request our panel guests to come on stage. Mr. L. Ashok, Managing Director, FutureNet Technologies Private Limited. Mr. Dr. A. N. Parameshwaran, SRM University. Mr. S. Nadarajan, Mr. K. Ramesh, Head HR, TVS Delphi. I also request our moderator, Mr. G. Hari, GM, HR, TVS, Sri Chakra, to assemble on stage. Now we will have the video presentation of our partner colleges.
Krishna జిల్లాలో విద్యారంగంలో అపార అనుభవం కలిగిన ప్రముఖ విద్యావేత్త డాక్టర్ రావి వెంకట్రావు గారు తమ యూనివర్సిటీ ఉద్యోగానికి స్వస్తి పలికి అంతర్జాతీయ ప్రమాణాలతో కూడిన ఇంజనీరింగ్ విద్యా విధానాన్ని గ్రామీణ ప్రాంత విద్యార్థులకు కల్పించాలనే సదుద్దేశ్యంతో మరియు గత 20 సంవత్సరాల నుండి విజయవాడ నగరంలో బ్యాంక్, క్లరికల్ పరీక్షలు, ఐసెట్ మరియు కాంపిటేటివ్ పరీక్షలకు తర్ఫీదునిచ్చే సంస్థగా పేరొందిన శ్రీధర్స్ సిసిఈ డైరెక్టర్ శ్రీ కొమ్మూరు శ్రీధర్ గారు మరియు అమెరికాలో స్థిరపడిన సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఇంజనీర్స్ శ్రీ కొనసాని శేఖర్ బాబు, రవికుమార్ల ప్రోత్సాహంతో 2007లో మొదట ఎన్ఆర్ఐ కాలేజ్ ఆఫ్ ఫార్మసీని, తరువాత 2008లో ఎన్ఆర్ఐ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ ఆఫ్ టెక్నాలజీని స్థాపించడం జరిగింది. సాంకేతిక విద్యలో ఎన్ఆర్ఐ నూతన ఒరవడి. ప్రియమైన విద్యార్థిని విద్యార్థులకు, తల్లిదండ్రులకు ఎన్ఆర్ఐ విద్యా సంస్థల హృదయపూర్వక స్వాగతం, సుస్వాగతం.
He's Managing Director of FutureNet Technologies Private Limited. FutureNet Private Technology is a company focusing on IT service with employees of over 180. He started his professional career as a hardware and networking engineer in 1987 at PC India. Grew up the ladder in PC India with 2 decades of experience in hardware and network. Has practical knowledge in implementing bullet-proof IT infrastructure. As a consultant for many corporates, companies has designed many LAN, data center and wide area networking. He had traveled over 10 countries on business and personal exposure. I'd like to welcome Mr. L. Ashok. Huge round of applause. Professor A. N. Parameshwaran, Dean of Industry Institute Interaction Cell, SRM University. He is a civil engineer with structural engineering specialization of about 27 years of experience in technical institution, government bodies in various capacities as a faculty member, administrator. Presently, he is occupying the position of Dean in SRM University. Mr. S. Rajan, he is a head construction skill training, Larsen & Turbo, ECC division. He was heading the formwork competency cell of L&T construction and was involved in construction more than 300 structures in various capacities using system formwork and slip forms. He is a member of board in Hindustan Community College, Kelambakam, Chennai, and also he is a member of technical committee of ICI, Chennai chapter for creating a reference document on formwork. Please give an applause for him. Next, Mr. K. Ramesh is a Vice President HR, Delphi TVS Diesel System Limited. Human resource executive over 3 decades of comprehensive experience in the field of human resources, including developing and implementation of HR policy, procedure, recruitment and retention policies, human resource development, legal statutory compliance, industrial relation and wage negotiation, training and development, performance management system and administration. And he's Vice President of HR in Delphi TVS System Limited since 2011. Mr. Hari Gopal, General Manager HR, TVS Sri Chakra Limited. He started his career in 1973 as management trainee in Salem Steel Plant. Now he's presently he's working in TVS Sri Chakra Limited, privately held with 1,000 to 5,000 employees, and it's an automotive industry. Now I hand over the session to Mr. G. Hari, our session chairman.
Morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. The pleasure is entirely mine to be standing in front of you and moderating this session. We have pretty eminent speakers here representing industry. Industry in terms of manufacturing, industry in terms of IT services. We have someone who's been a hardcore in learning and development, and we have from the academics from SRM University. So a very, very wonderful, lovely mix of speakers. I wouldn't right now talk much about it. The subject or the theme is known. They are going to give their own special treatment on this theme. I would leave the floor to each one of the speakers in the turn in which they have been listed in the agenda. A little ground rule as a moderator, each of the speakers get about 10 minutes. I know it's very difficult to control yourself in 10 minutes, but I guess that's another challenge. I'm sure the speakers would restrict themselves to about 10 minutes. I will have a job to possibly nod from the back if they slightly exceed the time. I hope they wouldn't mind. Okay, there's a little amount of flexibility, which I will definitely exercise. And then at the end, maybe I'll come in and wrap up with a little bit of whatever I have to say. I will obviously have the final say. And then we have a little open house with some questions and some issues which may come up. People from the floor may have some points to raise or some thought processes which they like to share. We would be very happy to take it. Thank you very much. So we have the speakers one after the other. Give them a hand, please.
Good morning. And I should really congratulate Oltec HR Services for organizing such a forum where they're actually bringing in the industry, institution and the students together under a single roof just to debate and review and look at how we can actually bridge the gap and look at building a powerful 2020 for India. I really appreciate and thank you very much for allowing me to come and share my views here in this particular forum. I also welcome and thank to the entire panel members, are very senior and they've got a very wide range of experience in the HR and education. I'm proud to be part of this panel. So without spending too much time, let me go right into my views of industry, institution and a skill gap. Where are we? And what is few points which I thought I can share with you. This is a very brief, I will run probably a little faster. I would request you to note down your questions. I'm sure that we'll have at the end we have a questioning session. We can actually take it. I can take it all the questions. So this is agenda, and just quickly to talk about my company. We are a 180 plus employee company and started in 1996. We are completely into IT services. We build and manage IT infrastructure for a lot of companies. We are 17-year-old. This is give a very brief of what are we doing. We are into consulting. We are into implementation. We are into support 24/7 and software development and educational services. When I say education, this is all about bridging the gap between the what do we require right at the deployment stage and from the time more of a finishing school. So without spending too much my time on FutureNet and the thing, let me go on to sharing some of my statistics which I come across on the net. The first one, which is very wonderful thing, the population of a working age, this is projected for the next 20 years. This is by the so many surveys, which including the World Organization for Jobs and all that. If you could see very clearly that India is having a maximum working age population between 15 to 65, and it is growing, and somewhere around 2025 and above, we would be overtaking even China in terms of maximum working people in the country, and which means that we will be the single largest country supplying the manpower for the entire world. And this is a great thing, and I think we all, each one of us here should be proud, and we will be in this era in this country is really we are gifted to be. And the NASSCOM predicts over 3 million graduates and postgraduates added to Indian workforce every year. And 15 to, the age group is 62.7% is a working population which they are actually seeing. So much business, opportunities. Let us quickly look at a SWOT, if I can put it across, as an India as an entity. SWOT stands for strength, weakness, opportunity and threats. Just 2 points which I thought I can share with you. What's the strength of our country today? I'm actually looking at not only the opportunity within India. In the last 15 years or so, from beginning of 90, India's perception in the world has changed. Okay, India is no longer looked at a country with elephants and snakes. When we go out and people look at us as an IT power, and people are saying that, oh, you're from India, oh, you're IT guys, and you are a knowledge power. And that is what the thing is, and that's a strength certainly. So let us see what is a quick strength. We have a working age population maximum in this country. Number of education institutions is a strength. Many education institutions, which I will be listing it out. Language, knowingly or unknowingly, we've got on to English, and which has actually given us a lead over others very clearly compared to, even to our neighbors. The weakness, if I'm going to be probably putting across, employability. We produce mass. Wonderfully, Mr. T. Sridharan was speaking in the inaugural session, beautifully narrated. And we could say very clearly, we produce people, but are they employable? Where are we lacking? Quality of education. No offense meant to any education institution or to a university or to a government, but then I think we need to catch up with little faster changes to the requirement of the industry and the world, and we need to constantly keep tweaking our syllabuses, constantly keep tweaking our the teaching and learning methodology. So quality of education certainly a concern. Involvement of industries in education. We guys from the industry come and speak in such forums, and after that what do we do? What are we contributing to the industries in the education in terms of making it to a better place for learning? So opportunities, the worldwide working age is shrinking and India is growing. So that's a very clear opportunity for us. And threat, investment made by the other developing countries in and not only hiring people and also training people. I've given to understand that China is actually mass teaching English to the people in stadiums like Atmosphere. So with that, some of the facts is that 700 degree granting institution with 35,000 affiliated, 35,500 affiliated colleges, with this kind of a split up. There's so many institutions currently in India with, you could see the numbers, it's huge, and Mr. Sridharan was saying that there's going to be 1,000 more universities going to be incubated in the next couple of years. So these are all the clearly a strength, and you could see where are we growing in terms of a working population percentage over a next, it was done in 90 to 2050. You could see very clearly India is actually growing. So you could also see the working age population, how we are beating the other countries in terms of the stock available. And if you can probably talk on industries terminology, we have a huge pile of human resource stock. Okay, and this needs to be deployed productively, then we are going to be a completely different country altogether, and like a great Abdul Kalam said, we will be a superpower by 2020. So with those facts and the strength and weaknesses and opportunities, what is the way forward? This is a scenario today. So this is a demographic equation of 1.21 billion, which is I think now about 1.4 or whatever. And this is a kind of, there are fewer jobs, but more people on the road looking for jobs. Everybody just on the road, and 1 million plus engineers are getting produced. Surprised to see for a banking job, 96% of the turnout was engineers, and the mandate given is to recruit anybody who speaks English. Okay, so that's a scenario today. We all talk about industry institution gap. From the beginning, we all say that, the moment a beautiful movie like 3 Idiots, which is narrated very well, the moment the child is born, we brand it saying that he or she going to be an engineer or a doctor or so on and so forth. And then it goes on by a default rather than by a choice. So that starting point of industry institution gap, then it goes on till we get them employed, and then we find that they don't like the job, and it goes on like that. This is again a scary survey where it says 12% of the pass outs go onto the job, and 52% people are saying that they are trainable, which means still 36% are left out, which means they are going to be educated but neither trainable nor employable. They still left out on the lurch. So this is what the scenario which we are seeing today. Only half of youth believe that the post-secondary studies improved their employment opportunity. This is another survey, which means we all go and do our engineering, we all go do our medicine or arts and science or talk about law or photography or whatever, but they feel that the education which they have gone through has not helped them in seeking a job. This is again from NSDC. According to NSDC, it is 8.5 million people are needed and 1.4 only are trained, which means there's a long way to go before you actually get more people come on in terms of getting them trained. So skill set gap, only 1 in 10 actually has all the skills needed for a successful employee. Roughly 3 out of 4 students in educational report has a major gap in an ability to meet the skills needed by IT workforce. This is purely from an IT point of view, where when the people are recruited or they're deployable, even after training of 6 months or 8 months or 1 year, this is what the actual scenario. So what does the industry expects? No rocket science. The industry looks for a good attitude, positively charged, good aptitude, stability, and skill set aligned to the latest needs. Okay, when an engineer comes in after the 4 year of education, the IT industry looks for, are they at least aligned to a latest technology, and if they're not expert, but at least are they aware of the latest technologies. Okay, when they come today, probably people will be looking at, are they aware of something called a cloud computing? Are they aware of something, which is talk about big data? They may not be an expert in that, but are they aware of what it is? So is their education is aligned with what is happening today in the market is what is important. Stability is another very, very important factor. People come and leave. They work for about 6 months, then they discover this is not the job they want. They keep moving on, or they actually work and find a better opportunity, they leave. So stability is another area which industries look for, and an aptitude and attitude. So like Zig Ziglar, great person, said, your attitude, not your aptitude, determines your altitude. Now this is a small 6 quadrant which says that what happens if we are in a which quadrant. This is, there are tools available where this can be done to see where each of us stay. Are we a low in attitude, low in aptitude? Then absolutely we are having a poor fit. So if they are somebody having a good aptitude and then they can actually be trained and developed forward. The ideal scenario is the one which is in a green quadrant, which is a high performer where somebody has a good attitude and an aptitude. So how is it important? It is important that we'll have to go back to each and every student when they're actually right at the maybe at the schools or the colleges, and look at what do they want to do. Look at aligning them to the best of their passion and to the professional skills. Align them onto the career so that they actually will not have any kind of a gap, and also they may not land up into a bad attitude person. Bad attitude happens, one by a nature, second then also they land up doing something which they don't like, they want to do that. They're forced to do that, then automatically they start dribbling out. So based on the World Bank research, what is 3 primary things required for an employment? Communication skill, professional skill, core employability skill. So again, going deeper into it, communication skill and a professional skill. That's what actually we all get in the colleges. What probably we don't get is a core employability skills, and which is the most important thing, where we talk about the values. We also talk about learning to work as a team, which happens, some happens in the college, some have to happen outside it. And most important thing which wherever I go, I keep hopping on is the values. We all come with certain values as a country and as a race we have. Those values are very, very important for us to be, going up on the ladder wherever we are and whichever job we are into. So these are all the key skills which companies are looking at while recruiting a people. So this is again, if you see the inner part of the circle, this is again a survey where when we make our CVs, this is what the survey which has happened. 40% is only moderately effective and 31% don't take a trouble of writing the creative new age resumes. They just create something or run of the mill, or they go on to some standard templates and create a resumes, and 29% are only highly effective. So when we prepare our resumes and our profile, we'll have to take little time and then probably have to spend time in terms of creating something which you wanted to communicate to other person. When a resume comes, the candidates don't come in person, but then what speaks is that those few letters or the words or the highlights is what speaks. This is what from the employers, when they actually analyze it, they've said. What does the students say? The students' expectation is that what jobs they prefer. First priority they give for the remuneration package. The student says that I wanted to choose a job which is highly remunerative to me. Second, they talk about career progression. And then they talk about company stability. Then they talk about training policies and plans. And the last comes the location, which is actually a good sign, which means they're willing to travel anywhere across the country. But the first priority is that, yes, I've done my education and I would like to get paid well. So whichever jobs pays me well, and I will pick up those jobs. This is probably for my industry colleagues who are sitting here, just to share. I've found this survey was quite interesting. So we all say that will people migrate from their from the native place? This answers that question. So coming to a last but not the least, how our industry can actually help you is design curriculum modules, not necessarily to tinker and tamper with a core engineering module or a core arts and science module, but always you can create 1 or 2 extra sessions or a weekend sessions or during summer sessions, which purely specifically orienting people, students towards the modern technologies and the modern, whatever the industry requirement, modern or the industry requirement. Being a part of advisory board, which happens already, but I think it will be even more applicable when we do that. On-job training, this is very, very important. And this is one area where I would recall our president's speech a couple of weeks back at Pondicherry University when he came for a convocation. He said that in the top 200 universities and college, India is just not figured anywhere. The quality of education, we are not there anywhere. So where are we lacking is a time to introspect. Okay, rather than looking at a mass production, we also have to have a quality production. I feel personally that on-job training would really help, because you start doing something. Most of the studies are when you go back to places in the West where people also do a lot of on-job training while they're studies, which actually not only give them the overall perspective, but also give them a lot of insight into the job, which probably they can actually choose at the later point in time, and where industries can really work there, set up incubation centers, set up on-site work and all that. So job placement industries can come in. Part-time teaching, as I said, this is again one of the very important role where industries can contribute to the education institution, where they can actually go and do a part-time, teaching to the students, bring a lot of industry perspectives. We as a company do that with a couple of institutions. So where we take the live guys who work on a project to send them off to the colleges to see, share their experience and work with them, and then it's more of a workshop rather than going through a regular teaching thing. So these are areas where industry can really help to strengthen the quality thing. So with that, I hope that I'm sticking on to my time, sir. So thank you very much for the time given, and then I will take the questions later. Thank you.
Good morning. Professor Parameshwaran, representing SRM University. First of all, I thank the organizer, in specific Mr. Sharma from Principal B-Line, to call me for this session. So as a teacher, I had done a calculation, but moderator has reduced to 10. So my presentation will be on two parts. Only is on a preamble, then some structured PPT, which is out of my experience for the past 6 years in institution, exclusively on industry-institute interaction, my thought process and my what exactly I have learned and I am doing, I will share. In that I will skip some of the PPTs for the want of time. That way you can ask anything during the question. So if you take our past, Aryabhatta, Brahmagupta, Bhaskara, Sripati, Mahavira, Madhava, all are very good mathematicians which you can see in ancient India. If you come after the ancient India and now for the past 50 years if you see, the Chandrarai, who is the first pharmaceutical company who was made in the Bengal, chemicals and pharmaceutical, Srinivasan Ramanujam, mathematician, Sir C.V. Raman, physicist, Homi Jayendra Baba, and is a theoretical physicist, and Jagdish Chandra Bose is as a pioneer in the investigation of radio and microwave. And till come up to this Radhakrishnan, Vicky Radhakrishnan, you take any top persons from corporate, CEO, XYZ, all had their basic education only in India. So if you see, we had a strong education system, and the skill development was a part and parcel of that education. Somewhere we moved from our original path. Simplicity, integrity, ethics is diminishing in all the field, and that too with the individuals. Love is at lower level, ego and selfishness at a higher level. This is just I want to give you the brief, which is a root cause for everything what is going around now in the country. Now if you come to this, you call it by industry-institute collaboration or interaction or cooperation or partnership or linkages, whatever we call, the fundamental is we need you, you need us, and our country needs us. So let us think about our country's development and can work together along with the government. When I moved from my regular teaching of structural engineering to AICT and assignment of continuing education program for exclusively for upgrading the skills and development of industrial people all over the India, I had my work at Bangalore, even at the LNT with Rajan sir, I had a beautiful books. And my job is to prepare the blueprint for throughout the India with MHRD support and AICTE and train them in a specific area. And the result, as usual, is not so encouraging, but I learned a lot of lessons in the 6 years moved with very hardcore, excellent professional all over the India. After I moved my tenure of being a director there to SRM again, on deputation I went. I want to go back to my structural engineering department where I left my research. A request came from my management to take some area in the administrative side on academics and other things. Then I told, I will take a industry institute collaboration. Then they asked me, already a well set oiled placement is there and excellent corporate advisory boards are there. What you will do? I told, placement is a secondary product. Unless otherwise the quality improves, nothing will happen. Now, being a university, let us look into the quality. And I have given the white paper, whether I don't know whether they have seen it or not, but having for more than 2.5 decades with them, they have some confidence on me. They have given a white paper to prepare me a blueprint, go ahead. It's my 6th year. And when I first joined this job, when I informed this to taken this position to one of my close professor and principal at engineering college, he told me, in the forest on the new moon day, in the midnight, we are going to search the path with closed eyes. அமாவாசை இருட்டில் நடு காட்டில் கண்ணை மூடிட்டு ஒரு பாதையை போய் தேட போகிற, தட் இஸ் இண்டஸ்ட்ரி இன்ஸ்டியூட் இன்ட்ராக்ஷன். Then I just smile, yes sir, but something I can do on it. So today I am 40% happy and 60% philosopher. That you know at the end of my slide. What I have actually learned is attitude, cultural change, and even the 10% of MOUs are works in a positive way, it will give you a long good education to the people. And 2 or 3 persons in a department start working towards it is 100% success. Till date, nearly 6,000 people are trained. My income is 3.5 crores. And I have done very little with my help of all the process and other things. I never go out to show anything. I want to sit, first correct my system, work, and take the industry. Whatever way we fit in, we will do it. I just want to show the slides, what I am exactly doing, and some of the things I will skip. And if you come to this slide, see, first you must know the dimension growth of institution. It all starts with approval, then it goes to affiliation, then accreditation, autonomy, and university. Each has its own meaning, each has their own demand. The first 2 things is compulsory, third is from the third is not compulsory, it is only the institutional will where they will stand. And if you look at back, in early 40s, we have Polytechnic 5, Engineering College 1, 5:1 ratio. Now it become 1:10, 1 Polytechnic, 10 engineering colleges. So Polytechnics is exclusive for technicians, engineering college to higher level. So first this skill gap has come because of this. So our ITA and Polytechnic education now has gone down, and engineering education has gone up, where the syllabus or curriculum is not for that. It is for the higher level, not for the technician level, not for the ITA levels. To any institution, apart from the teaching, these 3 areas are very important when you go to the level of autonomy, then university. The research, international collaboration, industry institute collaborations are very vital. If you see the growth of the AICTE approved institutions, now nearly 25 lakhs of students are produced, I have to tell, from the institution. Nearly 6,250 institutions, AICTE approved institution. I have not taken the national important institution and other things. The quality is a question, but there is a remarkable improvement in terms of quantity. If you see the sum of observations made by the various committees, by 11th year plan working group report, McKinsey quarterly report, Business World in 2010, and National Knowledge Commission report, AICTE CAI survey report, Minister HRE has given in 2013 at Delhi, and National Steering Committee on Technical Education, all are telling again, only on this factor, collaboration, we have to improve and we have to find the ways and other things. If you go deeper on this observation, there is some salient points. The governance takes a bigger role. They have a very clear mission and vision, and there should be an industry-institute collaboration shell. It should be a separate one with exclusive powers it should be given. And the faculty exposure to the industry and fundamentals are very important, and outcome-based curriculum is important. If these all are going well, placement will be a byproduct. And if you go for the head, who is going to lead this industry-institute collaboration, which I learned in the things which I am going to give now, it's all by my experience of 6.5 years sitting in a position. It's a very difficult thing, but I learned so much of things. So it is always telling me, I never come into any photos, I will never come in any prospectus, I will only push my HODs and the other staff and everyone. I will only back up because they are the people who do everything. So this is very important in academic structure, and edging God out. If you leave the love, everything is out. That ego should be at lower level. I will get lot of things because of this ego. I will go and sit and pray and I will bring down, and when I come back I am very free, and things will move in a better way what I thought. I should be a facilitator, I should not force anything. It should be a single point of contact, and teamwork is very important. and a good understanding of strength of the departments are very important, and expose the needs of the institution and industries are vital. What is the essential parameter? First, we have to identify the resource persons. It's a very intensive job to be done within the department. How the institutions across the country are not equal, the same way all the department with this institution will not be same. For example, if you take my civil department where I have come is 27 years old. I have a different strength, but a department newly developed, if you take biotechnology, they have different strength. So all this collaboration cannot be converged whole to the university. It will be a tailor-made to the individual department, understanding the strength and weakness. So I have to live with them. I am living with them. I am not going outside my campus anywhere. I am living with them. I am understanding their problem. Identify the resource person. That resource person should have inclination for collaboration. Otherwise, it is purely waste. Then conducive environment, which is a greater challenge when you go deeper into the education system, so in other fields also. If a middle-aged associate professor is interested to come out, then that head of the department is very mean that he will be dumped with a lot of the clerical work and seen that this boy will not move. It starts from the ground level, it goes up to that. It is a great fight. And if it is excellent, if you have the invention or if you tell ground level problems or ground level reality, so much of things, work will go on that. But the time he finds that it's going to the next level, he has seen that that man will not think in this direction, give a lot of pressure to him so that he will move out from this consultancy or call it by anything, I will lose one person. So with my thing, if 2 to 3% in a department of strength, 25 is active, you will be on par with NIT after 15 years. Then infrastructure for minimum requirement of industry is a vital. Then and there I have to sit with the department people and I have to see that what is the requirement of industry, in what equipment I have to expose to them. It's very, very important. In all the things, if you don't have clear policies and guidelines, the people come inside has to run pillar to pillar. No one knows where to start and where to finish. Methodology. First, assess the areas of expertise, identify the industry, formalize MOUs and agreement. This has become very, very important, not to become photos or anything. If you go to any accreditation throughout the world, now they are insisting on it. Then success rate is different, but this document has become a vital for the organization. And monitor the progress and evaluation and reward the team members. This I have given some of the general that I will skip because here I am going very intensive in that I can take up during my question and answer time. And these specific things what I am doing is I have taken the 3 levels. I will give you a broad thing about that. 3 levels of industry institute collaboration in my university. Level 1, level 2, level 3. Level 1 is the institute industry exchange. It's not of too intense. And the second, it is bit intense, continuing education for industry. And there it will go is really what we have to do as a university is industrial research and consultancy. So there also you can see the 3 things, immediate, mid-term and long-term. Immediate which we can do within 1 year. Mid-term we can do about 2 to 4 years. And the long-term is 4 to 10 years. Anything we have to wait for it. We cannot come in over the night. It cannot come by simply speaking. Sit, work, improve, develop. Otherwise it will not come. So the total level I have divided into 3 and in the 3 I have made into another 3 more things. Now my process is fitting each department in appropriate place and sit along with them. See that I am going to level when the years moves. That exactly we are doing now. So these I had made some of the major contribution for industry institute interaction. So what I want to tell is for the successful industry institute collaboration, you can see number of models. I have gone through the number of models and academically I have given 25 papers in international and the national one. LLX, LLX, X, Y, that model, this model, S model, all you study, American model, IIT model, NI model. No model you can implement in your institution. You develop your own indigenous model, knowing your strength and weakness. Otherwise, you cannot be successful. So just I want to give some of the glance in that which is in the red only I want to tell it, because this is the things have come with a lot of struggle and cooperation it has come. This I want to just run on it. One or two things only I will tell at the end. This is the things made it. In this, if you take, I never tell more on my, it's not success, it's a teamwork, all help. Nearly 6,500 core industry employees, after the interview, before they enter into the company, is being trained by us in exclusively area which will be helpful to them when they go to shop floor. So we are done, we are doing for Ford, we are doing for CCCL, we are doing for Wapco TVS. Each thing I have to go along with my team member, sit in the shop floor for 10 to 15 days, understand the need, develop the curriculum, give to them, they have to vet it. The process, iteration process will take me nearly 6 months to 1 year. Then freeze it, made into different model, implement it, and go through all these human resource, XYZ problems, XYZ, fix it and run it. Today I am happily want to tell my 150th batch of Ford is over. I have trained 3,800 people now. And 14th batch of Nokia is over, 7th batch of CCCL is over, 9th batch of Mahindra is over, 10th batch of Wapco TVs is over. More than that, I am also doing exclusively program for BTech, MTech and other things. It is not with like Pitspilani and other things. Our own professors will go. All the things behind this, what is this? Not money earning. Unless my professors, my faculty members exposed to the needs of the industry, my regular students will not get that benefit. So I want eye on that. In the meantime, I get some revenue. I also get placement. More than that, as a social responsibility, with I am also in various bodies in here, US, in all the place. God has given me opportunity to sit and speak with my president, Dr. Satyanarayana. Training faculty members throughout India, Indian government has given 250 crores every year they have to spend. But the total amount spent is less than 1 crore. It is happening for the past 15 years. Why, how I am being in the government department, I cannot speak nothing more. So now it is vital for government to do it. They are not doing it. So one institution, Indian Society for Technical Education, which has academic people knows very well, which has nearly 80,000 faculty member and 3.5 lakhs member. I am also executive elected member continuously for 4th time. So I sat with that officials and I sat with my president. Let me start a 100 program throughout India. Not SRM will do, let them do for 1 week, 1 crore. So that is one of the things which has given me immense satisfaction. This work is going on. So we are giving 1 lakh to the various engineering college through them, and identify there is a process is there. Exclusively training of polytechnic and engineering college teachers in specific area identified by the experts. So in conclusion, whatever you tell, it all the collaboration, interaction, anything in the education system depends on the two fundamental, faculty and students. If these two things are not taken care well, nothing will move. So this I told, what I am 40% happy and 60% philosopher. By all means we have to collaborate. If you get a good one, you will become happy. If you get a bad one, you will become philosopher. Now I am more philosopher than I am a happy man. Thank you.
Good morning. When I came here, I thought I'm going to play a 50-over match. And subsequently, it was told that it's reduced to 20 overs. And when it is 20 overs, you come in the 15th over, and you're supposed to deliver the goods. It's like Dhoni. Sometimes he scores a century, sometimes he goes dugout. So it is up to you to judge me whether I'm going to do justice or not. Okay, now quickly comment to the subject. I'm trying to show some pictures. See, all these things, see, this is the Rameshwaram temple, the pillars. It was done in 12th century, 17th century, 15th. This is a temple in Myanmar, Angkor temple. It is the largest Hindu temple in the world. It's more than 40 acres of land is there. Now what I'm trying to say is all these things were built with the artisan at that point of time without any kind of a plant and machinery, without any kind of a leveling instrument, without any kind of a major kind of a skill development initiative, because those days the Rajas and Maharajas were helping the artisans, they were keeping it as a team and they were building it, and the artisans were all downloading their kind of a technical skills. It's like Parampariyama varum. The son teaches, the father teaches his son teaches his son. So it likes that, it was coming like that. Now today what is really happening is the industry scenario is changing. As you rightly pointed out today morning, some speaker was saying, nobody wants their son to become an artisan. He wanted his son to be either become an engineer or he wanted to become a lawyer or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, whether he is getting the job or not, it's a different question. Now today, we are also seeing the dignity of labor. Nobody wants to be called as a plumber, carpenter, helper or something like that. Everybody wanted to call them as engineers. And today there is a social stigma. Any worker, whoever is going to come there, if he is a carpenter, he says that okay, he is a lowly placed. You treat him as a backward class. So, but whereas the attitude towards the workman, attitude towards the entry-level workers or the people is different in overseas countries. Even a doorman who is opening the door is called a professional. And they take pride in saying that I'm a carpenter, I'm a barbender. We called a German mason who came to our institute, training school. He was there for 10 days. He told me that I am a mason. Then he told me, Mason, what work you are doing it? He says, I read the drawings, I take a leveling instrument, I go to the floor, I give the levels, I mix the mortar, I fix the tiles, everything he does, A to Z. He is fully equipped and his salary is almost equivalent to the project manager. Now, this is the scenario. See, the last slide, what you are seeing is the Baha'i Temple of Worship. It was done by L&T. You can call it as a modern Taj Mahal or whatever it is. It was built in 3 years or 4 years of time. Now, what is really striking in the whole thing is, all these structures, it took about 15-20 years to do the construction, whereas the last one took around 4 years. But if you are giving the structure now, I can able to do it in 2 years' time. This is the technology advancement. So the endeavor of our group should be how we are going to retain the essence of the skills, how we are going to employ the modern machineries, modern technologies to enhance, retain the skills and improve the skills. This is going to be the challenge. My presentation, I am not going to talk about much figures, 500 millions, because everything is being talked. I will try to talk about very essence of skill development, what an institute should do, what an industry should do, what an educational institute or an institution should do, and what a government should do. Everything has got interlinked. Now, we have picked up some information from the groups. The important thing is, the very important thing is, on one side you have the expectations from the people. The second side is the quality mismatch. We don't have the infrastructure. And third side is the industry. Industry wants something, we are developing on something. So there is a total mismatch. I am talking from the industry perspective. Most of my references will be with respect to the construction industry. Now this inputs is the traditional workforce, see, we are talking about the skill levels, whatever that is really required. The entry level workforce in any industry is around 80%. The balance 20% is your engineers, managers, and other people on the higher end. Now, how we are going to address the skill gap? If you are going to address the skill gap, if you are addressing the 80%, you are able to really satisfy the requirement. L&T, we have started the Construction Skills Training Institute. We are running the training schools for the poor people, school dropouts. We are running 7 schools. And we are doing it as a part of our corporate social responsibility. And in a year, we train about anywhere between 8,000 to 9,000 people, give them free training. We are also giving them placements. So a school dropout, whoever is there, a 5th standard pass boy, after training, his take-home pay is around 8,000 to 9,000 rupees. Unfortunately, the diploma holders also are not getting that kind of money. And we have a good career progression. At the end of 5 years or so, he'll be in a position to reach some pinnacle. Now, this traditional workers, how we are going to impart the skills. The very important thing is, people don't prefer construction, people don't prefer handloom handicrafts, gems and jewelry. These are all the areas we require the skilled workforce. And highly labor intensive hardship work, the people don't prefer it. The qualitative mismatches, whatever the people, whoever is coming out, traditional, non-traditional training, ITI training, there is a quality mismatch. The people are not industry ready for acceptance by the industry, and the people don't have the industry exposure, and there is high variations in the quality of workforce. And very important thing is, the opportunities available there, it is not sensitized in reaching the people. So there is a huge kind of a information gap. The amount of information coming on news channels and other things, if a news channel is available, say that this is the opportunity available, the people can get benefited by that. So this is one of the, and the quality of training is suffers from want of availability of quality of trainers. And that is a very, very important thing. Today, we are not in a position to teach the people because we don't have good trainers. See, we take the people with a basic qualification. We take the people with the correct attitude. The rest of the things we do it. So in my 30 plus years of working with the industry, working with the Larsen & Toubro group, we have conducted more than 500 to 600 training programs for engineers, mainly on form work, system form work, mainly on slip form, mainly on skills training. All these inputs, we try to train the people, we try to give the people, give them the correct inputs, allow the people to develop whatever their thinking is there, allow them to apply the learnings. Very important thing is, any training program, if you are not allowing the people to apply their knowledge, the training becomes a waste. It is like a battery. You have to keep on giving charge to the battery, allow the battery to discharge. So like that, the training has to happen. And the very important thing is, the poor basic education preventing absorption of vocational education. So today, there are a lot of institutes that are available in India, but the quality of education is very poor because the basic education is very, very low. And skill acquisition, the lack of mobility between formal and vocational education. Today, as some of the speakers have pointed out, very less, around 27% of the people are only taking up to the college. So the balanced people, whoever is wanting to become, take up vocational education, they don't, they have to choose this only. It is not an option given to them. By default, they just come to this, they pick up some skills. So there is no kind of a career counseling or coaching that is happening to the people. People prefer a formal education. Very important thing is that people don't want to become an artisan. People wanted only a BA degree or BSc degree. And at the end of the day, I have seen some people, they take engineering and at the end of the day, they also become teachers in some of the primary schools. So the employability is very low. How we are going to address it? This is the aspiration, infrastructure availability, and the industry demand. If you are going to see, until unless you are going to have a correct kind of a match, having a very high democratic dividend, the democratic dividend, in case if you are not going to give them the right kind of a skills, it is going to be a nightmare. Social unrest is going to be there. Today you are talking about many problems, like Naxal problems, this problem, that problem. Why it is happening? Social inequality. The people don't get employment. People don't have the right kind of skills. If you don't have the right kind of skills, they are not in a position to get the jobs. So our industry's responsibility and educational institutions' responsibility is to make sure that the people are getting the right kind of skills so that they are become employable. The mid-level, the skilled workers, there is a huge gap, minus 10%. The high-level workers like engineers, we have the supply, but the skills needs to be improved. And the very important thing is, if you have taken an average of whatever the survey that is being taken, 36% of employees say that lack of skills is going to be a major issue as far as the employability is concerned. These are all some of the statistics. About 672 ITIs are there, and the very important thing is the ITIs are producing the numbers. The focus is missing as far as the quality is concerned. And the ITI seats are not getting fulfilled. They don't get employment. And recently the people have started this PPP mode, Center of Excellence, all the things are happening, and this is yielding some result. And the industry's perspective, what the NSDC has told, some other people are also told, in the previous speakers have told, this is going to be the skills pyramid. The entry-level worker is around 80 to 81%, and the level 2 workers are in the 14 to 15%. This is in the supervisory cadre and other things. And highly skilled diploma holders are 3 to 4%. And 1 to 2% are highly specialized doctorates and other things. So what is really happening is at the bottom of the pyramid, in case if you are not going to address the skill gaps, you are going to end up in very serious quality problems. And we are also into the National Skill Development Councils, developing the NOS, developing the course curriculum, what is really required for the industry. It is the whole range of things, right from the bottommost level to the topmost level. How we are going to really categorize engineers, what kind of a skill sets the people should have, what kind of a knowledge you should have, what kind of a skills you should have, and describe the people appropriately and give them the right kind of training. Engineering subjects we teach a lot, but how much of engineering is getting applied in the industry is very, very limited. So what you are going to learn on the field is going to be much more. So the industry and the institution have to have a serious dialogue what they really wanted. The present scenario is industry requires skilled manpower, existing projects with the minimum support from institutions. We have an internal training program, whatever the training we are doing it for the last 15 years. 15 years back people were a little skeptical, why at all you have to train carpenters, barbenders. We thought that there's going to be a shortage. So we started the training. Now we are sustaining the training. Now these training centers are going to be the apex centers, not only for workers, it is also for supervisors, engineers at all levels. And affect safety, quality, all the things I'll try to skip it. Industry bodies like CII, FICCI, NASSCOM are playing a key role in creating a linkage between industry, institutions as well as the government. You have two categories, vocational and education. About 600 lakhs of students between 6 to 14, they drop out. What you are going to do with them? This is going to be the bulk of the things. Syllabus in the diploma degree level, many of the subjects what is being used by the industry, it's not being taught in the institution level. I'll also show some examples. Lack of infrastructure, quality teachers, as you rightly said, the people are not, as a choice the people are coming. They are not choosing it. and the people have become teachers. So how we are going to really improve the quality of teachers? The very important thing is the people are taking sabbatical for going higher education. There should be a stream of people should come to the industry, work in the industry for 2-3 years, and they again go back. And that kind of a linkage, like Dr. Parameshwaran can do something, it will be helpful. Yeah. And this government is creation of NSDC. The NSDC Sectoral Skills Council, it is in place. Policy interventions for employing skilled manpower, synergize skill development and functions across ministries, and incentivize skills education. Morning, some of the speakers were talking about the STAR schemes. We are doing it for the construction, and the workers are getting benefited. And this is one of the very important intervention what you have done. We have signed an MOU for teaching one subject known as the form work, which is not being taught in the engineering college. So we have signed an MOU, and this is the pedagogy what we are trying to do it with the institution. We are imparting training to the trainers. We are doing it. We are also doing the hand holding. The very important thing is, at the end of the day, the students are industry ready. They need not be trained immediately. They can be absorbed immediately, and the people are given preference. So it's a win-win situation both for industry and the institution. The ITA Center of Excellence, we have taken interventions. How we are going to make the Center of Excellence more effective? They are teaching some subjects which are relevant to the industry. The industry can take interventions and make the subject more relevant for the students. And what is the in-terminal competency? You try to give them the inputs to the students, so as the students are in a position to take care of it. This is going to be that, and this is the outcome. Again, the outcome is same. The recommendations to the industry is the career progressions. You have to give a career progression. For an engineer, you are going to give a career progression. How you are going to give a career progression? Involvement in the on-job training, improve working conditions, and adopting some these things. Vocational training provider. These are all the inputs what we are trying to do is, and recommendations to the government, what government can do it in terms of this thing. And very important thing is the educational institutions should act as a kind of a catalyst for the industry to develop something. The amount of time what is being spent on R&D, the amount of time being spent on innovation and doing something good for the industry, if it is being done rather than doing a select training programs, if some R&D work is being done and industry and education institution can work, it is going to play a fantastic improvement in the things. IITs are already doing some kind of R&D work for the industry. We have set up, we are also running a program in IIT Madras and IIT Bombay, MTech in construction management. So like that, if specific training programs and some R&D work related with the construction or some other thing industry is being taken, it will be helpful. Thank you once again for the patient hearing.
Good afternoon. My friend Mr. Natarajan at least had a hope as a Dhoni. He will have about 7 to 8 overs to complete the match. But I think I have only 1 over. If the batting side wins, the entire credit goes to the batsman. If the batsman fails, they forget the 19 overs what others have played and they blame the batsman. And if the bowler bowls a good over and gets the wicket, yes, he gets the credit. If he loses, the bowler gets the bad name. So I am in that situation, but anyhow, let me try to do something interesting because time is running out. I always start with a small quote, and which my favorite one, which is, when the rate of change outside an organization or institution, anything is slower or faster, then the rate of change inside the institution or this one is not matching with that, the end is certain. So Jack Welch has said in GE. So you have to always keep up or the pace with what's happening outside. And definitely this is where this forum is going to help. And the title also confirms it, that to bridge the skill gap. So the bridge is not a bridge which is going to end. Probably the bridges have to come more. And my other speakers have also spoken a lot about their experience. And here I would like to take you through my experience from engineering industry as well as my other exposure to the government industry or whatever you call. But definitely one thing is certain, because I read in the book of my friend Mr. G.D. Sharma has quoted that teach a man to catch a fish than give him a fish. That's true everywhere. Throughout it will be there. So research and industry should not be like two banks of a river. It's a wonderful statement. The creation of common industry and speed, culture whereby the industrialist and the researcher live in both the worlds in such a manner that the worlds of industry and research become a single word. Mr. Professor Naidamma, many of whom must know him, but he's a great person, and I had interaction with him also in CLRI. It's one of the very good doctorate in that. I take this entire presentation into three parts. Part one is transition, what is expectation from the industry. Then part two, industry into interaction. Then role of industry, and the conclusion, or it's going to be the beginning. Some of the points can be repetitive from my other speakers who are done here, but let me try to skip wherever possible. So what is the transition? Because the professors focus on enhancing the learning skills. They look at improving the subjects and evaluate on the overall learning ability. Probably the end of the year, the mark or whatever you call it. Then from the manager's perspective, there is a constant pressure to deliver and meet deadlines in the company, so they want skill. So while one focuses on the learning, the other focuses on significant leverage of what's available to us. Industry expects straight away that the person who comes in should take responsibility, should good academic in regard. They want everything. Okay, they want ready-made. Whereas then they also want nowadays leadership skills, transferable skills, relevant work experience. How it all will happen when a person just comes from a college. In my experience, when I talk to some candidates, when I interview them, it's just in 10 minutes time, okay, we have various tests, we go through the marks and a lot of things we do. But at the end of it, the 10 minutes is going to matter. So you should understand that what the person knows and what he has learned as he really put in the effort than to know what your company wants or what you can mold him later. Many times it fails, and the students also don't take very seriously. Sir, this subject I read in first semester, this I read in second semester. For morning my Sridharan was mentioning, they were in the career, they want money, they want the job. See, they should take up the course what they want to do with a passion. So you buy a shirt, you like only when you like it. You go to a restaurant when you like it. So like that, we should definitely take a course, and our parents also should help the children to take what they want, what they like. But unfortunately here, we need a job, we need a career, but time has come to balance it. And I have come across quite a lot of people recently. After doing second year, they leave the course, they go and join some other course, they like it. So I appreciate such people. Now coming back to this, self-awareness, industry expert, the person should have everything, attitude, energy, education, and the corporate awareness. A lot of things are expectation. So who chases whom here? Industries needs ideas, it has funds, but it don't have time. So this is where the collaboration comes. And institutes need funds. Nowadays institutes have a lot of funds, but this is generally funds in the sense they also need what way they can spend the funds. They have time, expertise. So this is where we need to join together and do the work. That's today. So there is no chase, it's a need. It's a need for the institute, the need for the industry. What is the present status? Interaction is very limited. Academic institutions prefer working in isolation. Though many institutes contact me My other colleagues also, sir, we would like to have you come to our company college for the campus interview. We have so many things. Give us a project work. I'll give you a small example, no offense to any of the institutes people, because I know the audience is some students, some institute people are there, some professionals are there. Projects work is being carried out by every student. I hardly see any interest shown by the student. Sir, kurtunu sir, mark ponu sir. Definitely, that period is very, very vital. You take chartered accountants, they need to practice, they have to be somewhere with them, articleship. You take a lawyer, law graduate, he has to be a junior somewhere. Take a doctors, they have to be there as a, after, what do you call that? Internship or house surgeon, whatever thing they have to do. But what is there for engineers? Definitely some recent development has come, some institutes have started, 45 days he has to spend, 1 month he has to spend. Good move. But evaluation. I asked some, will you go back to your college and give presentation to your professors? No, sir. We'll just print the book and give you, sign it and give it. But we take efforts for the project work people to present to ourselves, and we encourage that as a student, young brain. He is seeing person from outside the as an employee of the company. He openly gives comments, suggestions. Sir, and the mari irukku. Some people are not showing interest. They are getting job done by us when we have come to learn. Honest comments. So this is where the institute also has to play a role, where you should take the students, talk to them and ask them to give the presentation on the project. Academics institutions look for publication, whereas industries prefer to be secretive. Yes, industries are very confidential. Sorry, they are not there to go and give your drawings or something. There are some sensitive informations are there. I have come across one institute in, it's an Institute of Foundry and Forging Technology. It's a wonderful institute. Where I was in Hinduja Foundries, I had gone there. You should imagine, you should see the students work there. They take a lot of projects from every company. One is confidentially maintained, and they work for the future. The projects are given to them what industry also wants and what the young mind also can deliver. That is where the skill comes. I always believe the present day students or youngsters, enormous exposure to them. Though some people just go to the net and cut and paste and try to prove themselves, but 50 to 60%, they spun, they learn, and we can. I always feel I can learn. Today also I come here, a lot of things I have learned what is available there. So that's very important, and we should not bother. And institute should take a care that we will ensure that your project work is only for our academics, and we will not share with outside. Industry institute interaction, what it can do now. It can act as a window of technology, work hand in hand and solve shortage of knowledge-based manpower. And after this, I'll share how some industries are doing and how at Delphi TVS we are doing it. Right, I'll just run through because time is running out. These are some of the points which you can probably. New technology development, yes, is one of the area where nowadays institutes have better facility for research than any organization, some organization. So the college, like IIT said, the industries should go to the college and say, can you do this for me? A doctor was mentioning they have done with a lot of companies there. Ford has given to them. So like that we can utilize. It's a combination. It's a win-win situation. Work in strategic areas, specific areas we can work. What industry can do? Economic growth of a country attributable to the capability to generate technologies. Yes, government also has to play a major role in this. Casually, I was discussing with one of my HR professional who has come from US, where he's working for a trading company of an automobile industry. So there, the curriculum is totally different. It will take a long time for us to come, and even, I don't know whether it will come at all. So the student decides, and the institute decides when they have to finish. They can take a break, go get experience, come back and continue. halfway through they can change, they can add. A lot of things are happening. But still, that is the way we should think over it here, and I wish one day it will come. At least when my great-grandchildren or grandchildren are going to study, it will come. Let me see that. Technological capability resides in human skills, and the institutions is the only thing which can bring in skill together. Role of professional bodies, as Mr. Natarajan was mentioning, there are a lot of professional bodies are there. CAI, you take other institutes, they are really coming up. A lot of work they are doing. In fact, they do play a major role now. In fact, what government is not doing, the professional bodies are doing. Definitely it's a mutual benefit, and they can offer training to students, enabling them to and become employable. See, what is employable? That's what very, very key word. It is not that everybody gets a job, but how make them an employable is, yes, this is the product available here, these are the strengths, and this is where the person can go, and this is where it's like a clay. So you decide how to do it. So the person is good. He has everything other than practical skill, hands-on experience. That's what it is important. And present day curriculum also adds some practical skills because of industries involving themselves in various project works and some minimum period of working. See, some of the industries I can mention here, which is called RAINTREE Engine Walls is there, Hinduja Foundries, where my previous company was there, the Brakes India, L&T, Ashok Leyland, many companies are there. So here what we do, we utilize some of the facilities given by the companies, the government. We develop the skill to suit our requirement in our premises itself. Okay, the government, there is a provision, I thought I touch upon this because I don't know whether the future speakers will touch on this. Government has some, like ITI, the industries can run a basic training center. They can take the students, train them, and end of the third year, they go out with the ITI or a diploma or whatever you call it. In that 3 years, 4 years period, they are hands-on experience, they are trained, and fourth year, they become employable. If I want to share my experience in Hinduja Foundries, we went interior districts. It's a foundry technology. Like L&T, it's not readily available everywhere. L&T also has to develop. There's no skill available there, construction skills. So foundry skills was not available. We brought students, we gave them housing. Earn while you learn scheme was launched. A student, he has to spend about 20,000 rupees to get an ITI certification. He earns 4,000 rupees a month. He sends it to his parents. His food and stay and everything taken care. At the end of the third year, he's become employable. A lot of people have taken, there are about 8,000 foundries in South itself, Tamil Nadu itself. So a lot of people have taken. So like that, many industries are doing. At the same time, they also work for the industry. And some industries engage them because I can't engage everybody. But at the same time, I engage my requirement based on availability and the quality of people. So these are the things, something which can do. TVS, we believe Industry Institute is a very strong bondage and it is a must, not now, long back, maybe about 20 years, 25 years, I think. We have started this. It's called the CPAT. Our engineering graduates who join us is sent 100 days for training. He has to operate lathe. Many engineering students, when they come, they can't even read drawings properly. They are academically brilliant, no doubt about it. But hands-on experience very difficult because he is going to get the job done through the operators or people down the line. He should have that skill. That's important. So where he have to learn with the worker. In fact, in our company, the operators teaches an engineer when he comes. Then we train them to CPAT, where they are trained in everything, not only in technical skill, but soft skills. So when he comes after 100 days, he is a person who can take up the job straight away. We can, because by that time we teach whatever our policies, procedures, rules and regulations, what they have to do. So this is one thing which I thought I should quote here. So like this, we also have interaction with MOP Vaishnava on HR skills. Every year we take some people there. So we have some tie-up with Chartered Accountant Institutes where we have some training people. So why I am telling these things, not because DTV is doing it, but we believe this is going to be very, very successful model, and this has to be the future. Every institute here should have some tie-up, and industry should definitely utilize the institutes here, and they should work together. The other one, you take the project work, what we do. We take it very seriously. We spend time with the student, and we share information that I don't know every industry is doing, and the students also has to spend time. And we interact with the professors, and we also engage ourselves with guest lecturers in the institutes. Because when we go there, institutions, they are, everything they have, they also call us. So that way a lot of industry relationship is taking place. It's going to be very, very useful. And another unique thing which is, as a CSR activity also we do, diploma holders, we train them for 18 months, we pay them well, and end of 18 months, they become employable. Another unique one which we have launched about 10 years back is that we call teachers also to our institute. I think my Dr. SV, my company, he started this, where we call school teachers as well as professors from the colleges also. We spend time with them because they also need a change. They also should know what is happening in the industry. So they come and spend time with us. We call them about 3 days, 4 days, once in 6 months. They come in batches. They go through various procedures. What are the soft skills is required in industry? What are the other skills which new things they have to develop in their institute as a part of curriculum or to teach the students? And apart from that, what is the work nature? That's very, very important. So they also go and share with the students. So that way, this is also very much appreciated when we call the faculties from the colleges. Plus, we also learn from them. Because when they come and talk to us, they tell us about what the students expect, what they want. So what are the industries also should look for in the student? Because as one of the speakers said, the expectation is very high from the industry. So this is another one area which I think definitely industry-institute interaction is going to be success, and more gap is there. So bridging is very, very important. So this is a teacher development program. I'm just talking instead of referring to individual slide because of the lack of time. See, this is one RAINTREE Center for Manufacturing. So they are doing another first-class job where there is application on original technical education. They also do on hardware and software. And a lot of things are there. I thought I can quote number of companies who are doing it, but not many are aware that these companies are doing it. So I thought this platform where I could use it. Then this is another thing where we call the PSC Festo Center for Pneumatic Automation. Yes, automobile industry is very useful. They use this facility, excellent interaction they have. And I'll share one of my experience where we have in my Rudrapur plant in Uttaranchal. It's a really backward area where the university came forward, and it's called Open Uttaranchal University curriculum or something, and they can't have so much of training. So they have signed up with the MOU with us where we bring the students for 5 years. We train them, 3 years on the job, and apart from that the training. And training is not just do the job. We spend time with them. We even engage, because they are all scattered, we even engage some professors or somebody, or teachers, for them to be taught during the examination or just before the examination how they should prepare themselves for education, because getting exacting work is not the same thing. So at the end of the 5th year is molded, you know what is the industry, so you don't expect something more than what you can is in the market, and definitely it has yielded result, and it's a benefit for both the industry and as well as the institute. Okay, this is another one. At Pantnagar, this is what I talked to you. So we also train them. So in the conclusion, so I think I'm well within my 10 minutes. Okay. So problem of interaction, Curriculum development, yes, very, very important where we should do. We should talk to them and we can develop this. Scholarship and placement, yes, there are still it has to catch up in our industry where, but specific areas we do. When we want some to be trained, overseas training, we give scholarship in the college itself. We train them up, send them abroad. After coming back, we'll take them. And then faculty staff exchange also, we do that. Then evaluation system. Industries can play a major role if institutes permit. We can evaluate soft skills and other skills of the students, which is definitely necessary. And the learning has just begun. I think we'll be definitely able to catch up. Thank you.
T20 match, 19 overs and 5 balls have been completed. There's only 1 ball left, and I'm the new batsman in, and I'm on the bowler's end watching the partner facing the last ball. Jokes apart, they will get their chance. It's been a very wonderful session where you could see or you could listen to some very prominent 4 speakers representing hardcore industry and a very strong institution giving their perspectives of this issue, of the theme. I think the issues have been very well stated. A lot of statistics have been brought in, so I don't think we need to get into more statistics because the issues are available, the challenges are very clear. Side by side, a lot of initiatives have also been talked about as to what Delphi is doing, what is L&T is doing, what is RANE doing, what is TVS doing, what is Mahindra is doing, what is SSN doing in terms of HCL, Hindu is doing in terms of business line. They have even brought out a Campus Connect newsletter to help students. So a large number of initiatives are taking place. I view this issue in terms of a customer-supplier perspective, where you look at 4 aspects what industry or the client looks at: quality, cost, delivery, and service. So I, as an industry, representing industry, will look at quality. Quality in terms of people coming to me and working for us. Quality in terms of attitude, skills, knowledge. Cost. I think industry today is willing and ready to pay the cost if the quality is very good. Delivery. I don't think there is a big problem on delivery because the time that is required for the people to be prepared and delivered to industry is also, I don't think there are problems. On the service end, the service could be in terms of getting a feedback from the industry as to the kind of quality that has gone in. Here also the customer would need to sit down with the supplier, interact with him in terms of what kind of facilities that need to be created at the supplier end to ensure that the quality of the product that he delivers is good, on time, and cost effective. So if you look at it from the quality, cost, delivery, service, the issue is very clear there. Industry needs to, in industry there is a very familiar saying called mentoring. I think there are seniors who mentor juniors. Similarly, I think industry needs to mentor institutions. And that's one way of promoting industry, promoting academics or the institutions to bring out the kind of students or human resources which will fit in very quickly into what the industry wants and what the industry expects. It is not that industry expects ready-made products, no. Industry expects right attitude, and the skills can always be brought in through training, and there are a lot of training initiatives about which the previous speakers have talked about. Ultimately, it all boils down to change. There is a change which needs to be done. You need to have a shift from what it was earlier to what it is should be now. We talk about 2020. There is a shift, there is a change, and change is a slow process. It's not that something is going to happen overnight and everything is going to change. No. It will be slow, it will be steady, it has to be structured. And you have seen for yourself through the various PPTs that yes, initiatives are taking place. The government is also pitching in, they have to pitch in. One area where I feel there needs to be some quick work to be done, we have the Apprentices Act 1961, where the stipend that is being paid to trainees is abysmally low, sub 2,000. We find it very difficult to get people to work for industry as interns because they feel that that amount is very low for the kind of skill that they have and the type of possible skills that they will bring to the table when they get into industry. So the government definitely needs to have a relook, like they keep looking at the raising the ESI ceiling limit to about 25K because they want revenue. At the same time, they need to look at this aspect also and quickly revise it when wages all over the place are changing. And you will find, we find it very difficult to get people to come in to work as apprentices under the Apprentices Act. The challenges are very strong. As I said, change, it will take time. But we have not lost anything. I think we need to remain optimistic. Together, we can and we will. I was just about to leave for this program from Madurai, and my daughter had a slip of paper and she shoved it into my pocket and said, "Dad, you go through this." I said, "What it is all about?" "You go through this, this is a little message, and if you feel this message is appropriate, you can share it with the audience tomorrow when you meet them at the session." I did open that message. It was a good message. I thought it's worth sharing. I'm trying to share this in the context that we made a lot of beginnings. The challenges are available. We don't need to be diffident about it. Like all initiatives that happen in our country, this is also a big initiative. Many people have got to be benefited out of it, and therefore everyone would be interested, whether it is industry, whether it is academics, institutions, and the dear students. So therefore, here goes the message, which will be the wrap-up of this session. You must have heard this, but I still feel it is apt to talk about this message and then wrap it up. If you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you like to win, but you can't, it's almost a cinch, you won't. If you will think you will lose, you are lost. For out in the world we find success begins with a fellow's will. It's all in the state of mind. If you think you are outclassed, you are. If you got to think high to rise, you got to be sure of yourself before you can ever win a prize. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger and faster man, but sooner or later, the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. Thank you very much, gentlemen and ladies. We take a few questions and then close the session. Thank the speakers for their wonderful contributions. Let me read the names by way of recognition. Mr. Ashok, Dr. Parameshwaran, Mr. Natarajan, and finally Mr. Ramesh. Thank you.
Basically, we were talking about a gap, skill gap. it comes from the education segment itself. That's what I perceive here. Again, if you look back your education system, we always inspired with some class teacher. I want to become a maths teacher, or I want to become an English teacher again. We don't have such kind of teachers not available at this current education system. Okay, and they come with a work. They are not doing as a passion. So if you all look at all your power slides, it talks about if you have a passion, you can work well. So if you look at that industry, education industry at this present, the people come with the force in terms of not getting the employment elsewhere, and getting into the education as a teacher, as a professor, whatever it is. So Ashok's slides talks about the root cause analysis about a trainable and non-trainable, and further people left out. That's because it comes from the teacher or the professor doesn't have the passion to move with the students in terms of elevating themselves from one level to other level. And again, if you look at Mr. Parameshwaran's discussion, he talks about Aryabhatta, Bhaskara, like again, they're all excellent teachers. And again, next we talk about S.C.V. Raman. Sorry?
You throw the question to us, please.
Sorry?
I'd like to know what is your question?
Yeah, see, the question is, we don't have a strength, education, again, professors or teachers not available in the current education system. That's where the big gap which has been conclusion. No, this is what the question which has been, like I'm giving to you, are we doing any exercise on this front to bridge the gap?
Sir, this cannot be done by institution, it's not done by industry also. It's a overall thought process, it should be given from the government also, that I can sit together, we can speak from 1980s and the 1940s. What you are telling absolutely correct, but single stakeholder cannot do it.
Excellent. Continue that thing. If you look at all the surveys, again, from S. Nadarajan as well as from you, it says that the youth aspirations are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's been listed, but in that the teaching profession is not there. So we are not taking assessment in the industry. The people are interested to come in this place at all. So we ourselves, completely omitting that part and taking the necessary things about, we are talking about the leather industry is missing and all this, but I could not see the teaching as a profession there at all. So are we neglecting that particular domain, or see, once we want a strength candidates to come out, so we need such kind of system to be placed in the initial stages.
To answer your question very specifically, the teaching, we don't treat it as an industry. See, if you take construction, we have the people in the construction industry are teachers. As I told you, I have been a teacher for conducting the training program for the students. So the passion should be with the teachers, whoever is going to be participating. You cannot bring the domain knowledge. The domain knowledge is with the industry, and the people should be passionate about whatever the work they are doing it. That's what I talked about, the industry-institution linkage. If the people are going to come to the industry and undertake some inputs, they can become professionals, and they'll be in a position to communicate the information much more passionately. But the passion part, we can't bring anything. We can't do anything until unless the people themselves. And you require a kind of a skills training program or your soft skills training program for your teachers to how to motivate the teachers to become professionals. So this you have to look into it.
Wonderful presentations by everybody. Personally, would like to thank them, thank everybody here. One thing for Mr. Parameshwaran here. I come from an automobile industry. I'm from the corporate HR. One thing that I have found lacking with the institutions is the driving of fundamental research in India. Okay. Many times technology is driven by the industry and not by the institutions here, which is the other way around in the Western culture. What do you have to say about that? And as Mr. Hari was saying, the mentorship of, I come from a company which hires 600 to 700 people freshers every year, and we find the difference between the employability of them is only 3 months, though we put them through a 1-year training program. At the end of 3 months, they're ready. So it's just a matter of 3 months for us to train students. Then why can't this initiative be from the institutions themselves?
So 2 questions is on the fundamental research.
Yeah.
Another one is going in the reverse direction, going to training.
Yes.
I'll first answer for the research. See, first I told the dimension growth of the institution. You must understand there is institution only for training, there is institution only for teaching, there is institution only for research. So the research level will come only if they come to the university level. If you go to other level, they will be more only on teaching. That too nowadays it is going more towards, sorry to say, it is going more towards like Kota and other things, Rajasthan. So you cannot find out any research in that. They will be trained only to place the students there, no research. If you go to next level of institution where the universities are going to play a bigger role, the two sorry figures, one, the government is spending a lot of amount for the research. So fundamental research, the selection process we take, only 5% has been selected. And the other things, if industry also come in for the fundamental research, they will only look about IITs and NITs. I have 7 fundamental research waiting for industry for 10 years, there is 0 takers for the private university. That's another problem. And another you are telling about 3 months training. See, institution is basically give fundamentals. We are here to give the fundamentals. I am still teaching 8th and 9th standard out of my passion, physics and maths. Physics is my subject. I go down to the Srivilliputturu where my native, I teach for hours. So fundamental which the teacher has to produce. Then it is up to you to mold to automobile industry or mold to Srived Chakra or L&T or anything is up to you. If he is good in fundamental, then he can mold to any branch. That moldability, if you want to do, I am open, you come, I will go 40 students in the end of the year, you can train them, take direct to your industry.
Then I don't understand why we are creating a hue and cry about employability if it's only just molding a student out. Because there's no question of bridging the skill gap at all.
Sir, it is not a bridge. Sir,
according to you then.
No, sir. Try to understand, sir. Here, education, we are not running for each industry. It is the institution to imply fundamental knowledge to the people. It is the education. It is followed from Gurukul method to this method. So he may go to any sort of his industry. If fundamentals are strong, he can go to their level. Within few weeks, they can go and fit into their level. So what our duty is to see that he is fundamentally strong in the domain he has chosen. So this skill gap all are coming because he is not strong in the fundamentals. So let us strengthen the fundamentals and he can fit into any industry with few weeks of time.
I agree, sir. Thank you.
One another question to Dr. Parameshwaran. Sir, little earlier my good friend discussed about the passion for teaching, but nobody is coming out with a desire for teaching. They are not interacted towards a teaching profession. And these institutions, being in industry, we are about to have a passion for teaching. But in institutions like universities and other engineering institutions, I think they are not having that much desire to utilize the industry people by way of only guest lectures, they have been utilized. It is not like a professional part of the curriculum. They are not included in the industrial people to have lectures or regular training programs to be included in the curriculum and utilize the industry professionals. Being a PSU, I am into PSU. Our CSR is a part of giving a CSR activity to educate institutions. But none of the institutions are utilizing our services, or whether they know whether there is availability of this kind of provisions in the PSUs or any other industries. What is your suggestion, sir?
Thank you very much, because I want to also grab up showing the, see, there is two things. We need also want people from industry to teach. But if you take our stringent rules from the AICT and MHRD, first they start a B holder is enough if you have been a visiting faculty. Now it has gone up to the doctorate. Now they are not, the government is not seeing whether he has experience or not. He is more worried about either BE or ME or PhD, number one. Number two, this visiting faculty, you can very well go to my website. It is one of my initiative taken from my heart. You can see everything is available. I had 25 people from industry there, including TVS, Sri Chakra and other things, which are even Narajan sir once I have spoken. See, in the institution say the problem comes, the two things I am telling. When I spoke, I never complained anything about the industry. Have you noted? I have done what I had to do. Because when the time comes, I will take you and use it. I never complained about them. Let my house, let it study it out. In the problem what we get, it is utter flap in my entire career. Even single visiting faculty from industry has not moved. I have very carefully chosen the people. I don't want the people who can speak about Europe or US. I want people who can share real case studies and other knowledges. In spite of that, it has not moved. I could not understand what is going on. As usual, I gone to shop floor. So I went to people, gone and spoken. I found out they find that they are going to be there because of the recession. They are going to be their competitors in the chosen field where they are teaching. So that also not picking up. So two things. One is the government. Another one, even the attitude has to change. Let us wait. It will change. Because they cannot wait for more time. It will break, it will change. And I request you also kindly send to me. Despite of that, 4 people from PSU is taken there in our university. I will try my level best to do for you. Thank you. Yes, I know it, sir. There is a lot of CSR available, but takers are 2% in India.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for the open house. We will close this session now. Thank you very much.
I request our panel speakers to be honored by our partners. Mr. Sridhar, Placement Officer of Kingston Engineering College. Please come on dais. Sridhar, please honor Mr. L. Ashok, Dr. N. Parameshwaran, S. Nadarajan, Mr. Nadarajan. I to call Mr. Surendran, Placement Officer of Vivekananda Educational Institute, to honor Mr. K. Ramesh. Mr. Ramesh. Mr. G. Hari. Mr. G. Hari. Dr. A. N. Parameshwaran.